Hey guys, welcome back to my F1 2016 career mode on the F1 2014 game. This is episode 12, let's get into it. So here we are in qualifying. We're going to check. We have no rain for any of the sessions this weekend, which is very good. Never good having rain, but adds that little bit of drama that we don't want. So we'll we'll quickly change it to a full dry setup. And we'll go on our first flying lap. We jumped out of the first one up due to us going wide at Eau Rouge, didn't get a turn in quick enough. Hopefully we can improve, so we're going to brake a bit earlier this time. We make the corner there. And now, for the second time, hopefully we can get through Eau Rouge properly this time. There we go. Done very well. Get through there unscathed. Not going wide or anything, but we're going to have Rosberg come out of nowhere, showing how fast the Mercedes is. Hopefully he doesn't hold us up through anywhere else as he blocks it on the track. So we did well there. We're 4/10 up in the first sector. Pretty surprising about that, actually. I thought we'd lose a lot of time on that main straight, but obviously not. This is probably one of my hardest turns. Always don't time it right. I see there I go a bit too wide. Normally on the race, the AI just catch up. As Rosberg tries to go on my outside, go a bit wide there too. Avoid the curb. Get the outside curb instead. Brake a bit there. Get a little bit of that curb. Just give it a kiss. Try and stay on the throttle. And just floor it. Floor it through this part of the sector. With now 2/10 down. Rosberg, we had to let him through. He's faster. Doing the right thing. Does Raikkonen set the fastest time. I'm going to quickly pass Rosberg. We lose a lot of time in that last second. We're 2 seconds down on Raikkonen, but we're second somehow as Ricciardo puts in the better time. So we're going to quickly continue. Get our next flying that. A little bit wide there. We'll keep going though. As Rosberg, we don't hold him up on purpose, but he's just in the wrong spot at the wrong time. At least now we won't have anyone in front of us to annoy us or behind as Rosberg drops out of his lap. I'm hoping top 10. Did that turn a lot better than last flying that. This one too. Run a bit wide this time though at that turn. And we're 1.5 tenths up, so I think we're going to come into the pits, put on some fresh rubber, and give it another go. Because at the moment, I haven't really got a good time. Actually, stuff it. We'll go past the finish line. We might get a few positions. And we improve by 6/10. Move up to 6th. We're going to have to come into the pits and drop out of this lap as we're going to run out of fuel. So, Daniel Ricciardo going to start from pole position. Raikkonen and Vettel, the two Ferraris, start from behind them. Sergio Perez still having a fantastic year in his Force India. The two Williams drivers in 5th and 6th. They have good straight line speed, so there's no surprise there. We are in 7th. Alonso in 8th. Fantastic for McLaren. The two Haas cars, 9th and 10th. Impressive. And then we have the two Mercedes, the Constructor Championship leaders. Both cars outside the top 10 in 11th and 12th. As we scroll further down, we have Felipe Nasr in 13th. Who else have Danny Kvyat 14th. Verstappen in 15th. That's very surprising. But other than that, not much surprises there. Maybe Jenson Button in 19th. Thought I would have expected a bit higher by him, but other than that, it's a pretty self-explanatory field. Okay, so for this race, I'm going to check my strategy. We have a one stop. It's only 11 lap race, so we're not going to have any engineer dodging us, so that's good. We're going to be starting from 7th, as you saw in qualifying 7th. Our objective is to finish 6th or above, so I can manage that. Just going to keep in front of Rosberg, which is my goal. Raikkonen, I want to get to as close to him as possible. Being in front of him, massive gain, so we gain that championship lead. So we'll go out the track and we'll start the Belgian Grand Prix. So here we are, with the Belgian Grand Prix, heading to 5 red lights. And we're off. We get a really good start compared to the Williams cars. We're going to try and go down the middle, but Vettel's going really slow, so we'll probably have to brake a bit early just to make sure we don't get any damage in. Going into first corner as we break our front wing. We break our front wing on this first turn, so that's not going to be good at all for us. We're going to get absolutely passed. We're going to have no speed going into here. As we take out Perez, we're going to have no turning at all. So we accidentally take out Perez. Grosjean's up into 5th. We're going to have to make an early pit off, and this is a very bad start to us. It's going to hurt our championship now. As Raikkonen's, yes, he's in 6th, but we're not going to be able to gain some points. We're going to just keep driving, and hopefully it's not too bad, even though we have no front wing whatsoever. A lot of these turns are slow turns, so I reckon we might be able to get away with it. If we can't, we'll have to come in. Nah, that turn's going to kill us. We're going to have to come in. We're going to have to do a 2-stop, which is going to absolutely kill us. We're down to 20 runners, so I think we took out Perez, and he's out of the race fully. We got no front ring. But we're trying to hold up these cars as much as we can. I'm going to go on the prime tyres and finish on the options and hopefully get up some positions and get some points at the end. As we lose our mirror. Going into the pits. That's a devastating start for us. We've had pretty good starts all season. We haven't really had any drama with crashes or anything. But this is the worst start ever imagined. Rosberg's out of the Grand Prix. As you can see at the top there, Rosberg is out of the Grand Prix. So out of everything, that's probably the best case scenario for us, because that means even if we get no points, we're not going to lose. We're not going to lose any points to Rosberg. Hamilton's in 19th. As I'm too busy focusing at the top left. We've got Hamilton 19th and Rosberg in 21st out of the Grand Prix. So that's very devastating for Mercedes. But we're just going to have to push here, as we're closing up to Hamilton. It's going really slow. But yeah, so I think I don't remember off the top of my head how many points we were in front of Raikkonen by, but it's going to help us tremendously. There's a whole train of cars already up ahead, so we could still get some points. If that's, I think that's about 8 cars there, so maybe put us up to 12. So we are already on the back of Kvyat. We're going to go down the inside. We're not going to take any risks. We don't want to break any more. We're going to go down the inside of Hamilton. Going to try. Magnussen holds him up, holds us up beforehand though. But we're going to get the job done past Hamilton to get up to 18th place. Hamilton's got a lot of straight line speed. We got, oh, Jesus Christ! Just parked it on the racing line. We're going to go around the outside of our teammate. Brake, put a little bit more gas into it. As we've been ghosted for some reason. I don't know why we're ghosted. But there we go, unghosted. A few of the cars coming into the pits must have got some damage. But we're up into 13th place. We've got Nazar ahead of us. And then I think it's a pretty big gap to 11th place. We get a bit much on the grass, but we're going to have DRS and speed on Nazar, but Magnussen's going to have DRS as well. We're going to go 3 wide, but we're going to have the biggest balls and break the latest. And we're going to get up into 12th place at the Belgian Grand Prix. We have Sainz Jr. up ahead, but he's nowhere to be seen on the map. So now skip on to lap 5, the end of lap 5. Just going through the bus stop, and we've been working pretty hard for the last few laps. Catch up with the back of Sainz, but he's just jumped into the pits. So we jumped up to 10th place. And Jenson Button in 11th. Jenson Button was actually in 10th, and Sainz was in 11th. Now we're up into 10th. The best possible thing right now would be a safety car. Close up the field, we can get in the pits and come out in 10th place, being able to attack those front runners on option tyres. And they will most likely all be on primes. But Gutierrez I don't think has pitted yet. So we're going to come in the pits next lap for a set of super softs. And hopefully we can keep catching Sainz and Button on the when we're coming out of the pits, and hopefully we've gained some time on them. Now we move on to lap 6, and as you can see, we're down to 17 runners, and one of them was Verstappen, because we moved up to 8th place, and Verstappen was in 9th, but he's nowhere to be seen on the map. So I think that's actually 11th place for us once we take our pit stop at the end of this lap. But as you see ahead, Raikkonen in 5th place. But I'm not sure if the cars in front of him have made a pit stop, so he could be even further up the field, which isn't good for us, because I think most likely he's going to have the championship lead after this race. Maybe. I think we're 13 points behind Rosberg and he's 15. I'm starting to get a lot of overs here. We're definitely going to come into the pits at the end of this lap. Unless we try and make these tyres go out to the end. Nah. We're coming in the pits. For our unfortunate second pit stop. On some fresh rubber. We're currently 9th, now in 10th. And we got 4 cars ahead. And we're on fresh rubber. So I reckon we might be able to gain and pass them all. We're in the points, which is a good comeback in itself. But I reckon I'm gonna put it up to Rich Mix and keep the information for the fuel on the right. So if it gets optimal, we'll go back down to lean for a bit and then go back to normal. But the top 4, these 4 cars are very tight, so we're not gonna rush. So I might put it back down to standard, as I know we're definitely gonna catch them. So we skip on to the start of lap 9, and we're closing up to the signs very much so. Coming into Eau Rouge. We timed that a little bit too late to turn in. Get a bit of grass on the inside. Now I'm not so confident of catching them all. We've got 3 laps to do it. Gonna keep it in Rich Mix for a bit more, but we're very quick through this part of the track. Compared to the AI. Within striking distance now of the Toro Rosso. And as I said before, this turn is just absolutely terrible to me. We ran wide, go off the track, and we've lost time to signs now. We go through this time a lot better though. Here we go. Signs goes a lot slow coming down the last turn. We're gonna go around the outside and we're gonna get the job done. Going on the finish straight. Start finish straight. Now we're gonna move up to standard mix because we're very close to Gutierrez and we're on optimal fuel. We don't want to run out of fuel for the race. So we're on the back with Gutierrez. We time this when we might get the RS. I'm pretty sure we will. Yes, we will. We're not going to be able to make a pass, but we're going to be able to catch up as much as we can as Gutierrez passes Palmer. So Palmer might be running a bit slow in these next few turns. We're already right up to the back of him. We could make a pass going into the next corner, into the hairpin. We think less of it. We're going to keep right there. We're going to go down the inside for a cheeky move. Up into 8th place with 2 laps to go. Gutierrez our next target, and then I think Grosjean in 6th place. As we time this turn very much better than the last turn, but we're still not as good as the AI as Palmer's right up the back of us. Gonna have to brake at the right point. We're still catching up to Gutierrez, which is a good sign. We're braking at the right spots. I don't know if we'll be able to catch Grosjean, but If we can catch Gutierrez, that would be wonderful. Gotta keep an eye on our fuel though. On the left hand side. Right hand side, sorry. Oh, actually no, that's Alonso I think. I think it's Alonso in the McLaren. Oh, it's Jensen Button in the McLaren. Gotta go down the inside, take a risky move. Run a bit wide, but we get the job done. We're not going to get DRS going onto the main straight. Gutierrez is going to have DRS instead of us, and he's already looking to go on the outside. Up Eau Rouge, going side by side. Great racing by Gutierrez and I. But don't think we're going to be able to catch up to Button, as we're going to defend. Going into this big straight. He's going to go around the outside. Going to give him the room. We're going to brake later. We're not going to give up catching Button though. The fuel light comes on. Button's right there for the taking. We have too many turns in front of us that we're just not good at. We're pushing it to the limit. The bus stop, I reckon. They can get close enough. We can get it. Maybe make a move coming out of the last turn. Sebastian Vettel wins the Grand Prix. So I thought Daniel Ricciardo would have that in the bag, but no. Sebastian Vettel. We're going to go after Rick Schmicks. Take a gamble. Hopefully outbrake Button. As Gutierrez is catching up to us. We're going to have to defend Gutierrez now. Not worry about Button. He tries to go around the outside. We're going to brake well. Get a massive hop over. But we're not going to be able to catch Button. We'll chuck it back in the center mix so we don't lose fuel. We're going to come through for 7th place of the Belgian Grand Prix. So, what a comeback from the first lap crash to finish in 7th position. So, Sebastian Vettel in first place. Bottas and Massa, the two Williams, finished 2nd and 3rd. Very good result for Williams. Romain Grosjean 4th place, great result for Haas. Kimi Räikkönen 5th place. Is that going to help him for the championship? I'm not sure. If that's going to put him up or behind, we'll have to see in the standings later on. Button in 6th place. Will come home in 7th place. Great result from what happened at the start of the race. Gutierrez in 8th. Julian Palmer. Great result starting from 22nd. Last place on the grid to get up into 9th position. Carlos Sainz 10th, and Magnussen in 11th from 21st, which is just great result. Nasser in 12th, Alonso 13th, Hulkenberg 14th, Wehrlein 15th, Ericsson 16th, and Daniel Kvyat in 17th to round out the finishes. We have 5 DNS. We have both Red Bulls, both Mercedes, and Sergio Perez in the Force India, which I do take a bit of the blame for. I had no front wing. I couldn't turn properly, and I took him off the track. So, as chilled as that much, I might say I didn't get a penalty for that. So it must have been alright. But I reckon it would have had a good result if I didn't make contact. So on the driver's standings, we have Rosberg in first place, Raikkonen 5 points behind, who has jumped us in the standings. We are 7 points behind Rosberg. Vettel is now in 4th place, 46 points behind Rosberg, so we still can't rule him out. He's in great form at the moment. Lewis Hamilton in 5th, 56 points behind. And in the Constructors, Mercedes still on top, but Ferrari surging towards that number 1 position, only 17 points behind. The rest of the Constructors have no chance whatsoever. thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please remember to smack the like button below, subscribe also, and yeah, I'll see you in the next episode.